And developing tonight, Patrick Frazee back in court today for an advisement hearing in the custody case. The court isn't releasing an update as the public kicked out of court, but Frazee now set to attend a termination of parental rights hearing next month. The judge will evaluate whether he's fit to be a parent to the daughter he shared with Kelsey Barrett, the woman he was found guilty of killing last month. At his trial, prosecutors labeled Frazee a master of manipulation, able to convince those around him that Barrett was an abusive mother. Well, in reality, the experts tell News 5 Frazee was likely the abuser in a classic domestic violence scenario, likely explaining why he was able to convince Krystal Kenney, the key prosecution witness, to help out. Our Sam KRAEMER in studio with continuing coverage. And Sam, advocates say all the signs are there.
Yeah, well, first, let's be clear. We are not giving Kenney any sort of excuse for her role in cleaning up the crime scene and never telling police when she had the chance to prevent this murder altogether. She's an adult. Prosecutors say she should be held accountable, but her actions are right on par with domestic violence and really close to what happened to one advocate's family.
It was like a whirlwind because you never knew whether she was going to call you, whether she was going to show up on the doorstep, whether she was alive.
Rebecca Blair spends her days as a senior advocate at the Aspen Mine Center, but she knows the impact of domestic violence firsthand. Her sister, a former nurse, was in a manipulative relationship.
He had control and power over her to the point that he convinced her to smuggle some heroin into the prison where he was. She was caught with it immediately.
Plainly, Blair says it ruined her sister's life. Memories rekindled during the murder trial of Patrick Frazee.
The spray was from here all the way.
Listening to Krystal Kenney detail her efforts to clean up the crime scene and describe her relationship with Frazee.
We were there when the defense was asking her over and over how many times she could have stopped it. And I teared up because she had so many chances to stop that.
Remember, Frazee persuaded Kenney 3 separate times to come to Colorado from Idaho and kill Barrett herself. First with a poisoned coffee, then a steel rod, then a baseball bat, but she couldn't do it.
It's so easy for people on the outside to look and say, how could this happen? How could she do this?
Still, the experts say it's a classic domestic violence scenario. ANGIE TRELSTAD, a former TESA counselor, says the violence isn't always physical. It's often a mental battle for power, and whomever has control can cause the other person to act out of the ordinary.
Violence and power and control and trauma will get you in a place where you don't even know who you are.
Now, they both shared a couple of things to look for to protect your family with the hope of preventing something like this from ever happening again. If a loved one's partner isolates them or makes them keep things secretive, that's a good time to seek professional help. Always watching out for you, Southern Colorado. I'm Sam KRAEMER, News 5.